The asset owner's disclosure project was piloted for 3 years in Australia before it went global in 2012. It was a very interesting time. Australian funds were the first in the world to ever be surveyed around their management of climate risk, and we faced, frankly, enormous resistance from the industry locally when it comes to disclosing portfolio detail about how they were managing climate risk. But Australian funds were proven to be ahead of the pack even before then. We suspected as much, and the data proved so when it came to launching the global index. There are a large percentage of Australian funds compared to other jurisdictions, not just because of their performance, but because of their transparency skills that they've adopted in the last 5 years. They've been used to being more transparent than funds in other jurisdictions, and this has certainly helped their ratings to date. Eventually, transparency won't be part of the AODP index, and that the points that we allocate to funds for being more transparent won't be as important as points for performance. But currently Australian funds rank pretty well, even though it's clear from the 2013-14 report that their relative position around the world has somewhat dropped off compared to last year. In the next few years, I think we can see that position relating to other jurisdictions continuing to fall. There are a couple of reasons for this. Australian funds, that is, have a sovereign risk when it comes to climate change. Australian superannuation funds invest more in their own stock exchange than they do in any other stock exchange around the world. And the ASX is a carbon-intensive stock exchange that is more exposed to carbon risk and the repricing of carbon at some point in the future than almost any other exchange around the world. When this happens, Australian superannuation funds who are heavily invested in the ASX will of course suffer more. And therefore it's more prevalent and it's more important that Australian superannuation funds hedge that risk now. They need to be more active in the management of climate risk because they're more exposed. And over the coming years, we hope to understand more about how they're trying to implement that best practice.